Sup, everybody? This is Jamie Hunter from the Event Podcast. On November 22nd, History or Nothing Festival, 7 p.m. at the Adelaide Hall. We have multiple performers. We have one right here. His name is B.Rob.
What's going on?
How's it been going, man?
Good, man. Good. Can't complain, Just living the dream.
I see you. Shout out to Extra Gravy Card Podcast. I seen you on there.
Yeah.
I was told about you by John Amo. I remember he was bringing up the H.O.N Fest lineup.
Okay.
And he brought up your name, and I was listening to it. I heard Treason.
Okay.
And how long have you been doing music for?
A year and a bit. So this is probably I think December 2nd makes 2 years. Yeah, since we dropped our first single. So not super long, just learning to navigate the game and stuff. But yeah.
We have this thing going along with the different artists that came in. It was the question was basically as a kid in Toronto or East West, I think it's East you're from, right? East. What was the go-to struggle food that you remember?
Well, when I was a kid, I was eating tin sausages, the Vienna sausages.
With the water crackers.
Yeah. And ketchup. That was my thing. That was my thing for sure.
Yeah, man. I don't know, because everybody, a lot of people, they said, that's a new one. Because I remember people were bringing up, the ketchup and the mayo fries. And I feel like everybody knows the ramen, the Mr. Noodles. Crush up. And, so... what was it like when you dropped your first track? Was it easy to just get into the studio?
Yeah, the first time I ever recorded something, it was one of my dogs had brought me into the studio, and it was his session. I was just coming to kind of just hang out, and there was maybe 10 minutes at the end of the session, and I was like, yo, let me get in, and I had a couple beats I was listening to because I knew I was coming to the studio before, not to make anything, just because I was just going to the studio, I was listening to some beats. And I think I recorded 3 songs in 10 minutes. Yeah, and we just laid that out, and it was just, everyone was kind of looking at me what? Because nobody really knew that I did anything, because I didn't either, it was the first time doing it, but it was cool. So yeah, that was kind of my first time doing that, and the experience was cool,
And when I listen to the tracks, I just wonder, do you listen to, by any chance, you listen to battle rap? By any chance?
Not really. When I see them come up on my timeline or something, I'll take them in for sure. If I see it come up, I'll take it in because obviously, metaphors and stuff is always cool to hear.
Right.
But in terms of going to seek it, I don't really go out and search for it that often, to be honest.
It's because I remember I was listening and you had that Clubhouse bar, but at the same time it sounded like a scheme, like a full 4 or 5 bar piece, because it was you had the Clubhouse bar and then you had the whole communication, and at the time the beta it was beer communication issues. So when I heard that, I'm like, okay,
I'm surprised you got that. Still, not a lot of people got that.
Exactly, because I was listening, I'm like, yo, it's really off the top. When I was listening, right? So when it comes to what is the most important thing you need in your beats? Is it guitar? Is it bass? Is it keys? What are the things you're looking for?
I love samples and melodies. So when I hear a sample or a melody in the beat, that's what kind of draws me. If I don't really like the sample right away, I'll move away from it. And if it's a beat with no sample, it's just melodies. If I don't like the melody, I'm moving away from it. I need that.
Because that Lloyd sample, because I heard the Lloyd sample, and I don't know, there's certain samples that bring you back as a kid when you heard it or everything, and I think that's where I guess drill and all this other stuff. It's the same cadence, but it's just certain songs they just catch and bring you back.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there any songs that you want to sample eventually? You hear and you're like, yo, how am I gonna flip this? But I want this.
I've been wanting. I'm Jamaican, so I've been wanting to sample Bob Marley. I've been wanting to sample, not even just stereotypical reggae artists, but I want to sample Beres Hammonds and Sanchez. And I want to sample those guys because nobody really does that.
No.
So sampling them would be Billy McLean. You know what I mean? Stuff like that would be really cool. Lovers Rock and R&B are so similar, just different kind of styles. But if you can kind of blend them, that'd be really dope. So yeah.
Since you brought up dancehall, old school, I was gonna ask you. Okay, if you were to pick Beres Hammond versus Sanchez, who are you choosing?
As an artist, Bears Hammonds is by far a better artist. Sanchez, most of Sanchez's biggest
all
hits
sample.
are
Covers. Yeah,
right?
you're right.
But he does have obviously some original music that's amazing. But Bears Hammonds is like that's the king of reggae music.
That is the king.
You know.
That is the king. Is there any artist that you're thinking like you want to do a feature with? Maybe in the Toronto or in the States.
In terms of like just like forever, like or like all time, like
whenever you're ready. But like, this is the person that I'm like, okay, eventually.
Yeah, no, there's people that I think have similar sounds with me that I think like we'd sonically make good music, like Blast, Roddy Ricch. I think we'd make good music. Obviously, like like Drake, that would be amazing. Toronto artists. Boy, I don't really know. It just kind of depends on what the vibe is like. But yeah.
And when it comes to like your music, you'd come with the bars, and then when you're ready, you get into the melodic, start singing and stuff like that. Like, which one is more like when you're putting your beats and songs together? Like, which one is more like easier for you to like get together? Like the chorus when you're getting the chorus off, or the verses.
I come up with hooks really easily. Yeah, I come up with hooks really easily. I think that's kind of like my gift. Some people like it to have a tough time like writing hooks.
Right.
So like, yeah, I love hooks, but I also bars or verses are easy for me as well. I won't say easy, but it's always easier to get off more information in your verses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can kind of be a little bit more relatable. So it really just depends on what it is I'm trying to do at the time.
Nice.
For sure.
When it comes to like, let's say you have a studio session, how many people do you like when a bunch of people are in your studio session, or is it like a small amount of people?
Yeah, when I'm working, when I'm really working, I like it to just be me and like my engineer and maybe one other person, maybe two at most, but maybe probably not even two. When I'm like doing the thing where I'm playing music and I want people to hear it, I want feedback, and those ones I'll have a bunch of people in there. But like when I'm really just working and trying to make the best music I can, kind of have to be alone still. I don't know. I don't want to really be distracted by what's going on. And like sometimes when people are in the studio, they expect a show,
right?
Like they expect you to do something, like they want magic. And sometimes you go to the studio and you don't get anything done, right? So that's how it goes.
Yeah, and when you're in the studio, like when it comes, have you ever had situations where it's like the first day you make a track and it's like, yeah, this sounds like it's fire, and you go back the second day and you're like, what was this? Like, what were we on or anything like that?
I wouldn't say I don't look back and be like, what the hell was I doing? But like I'll look back and like I sit with songs for months.
Oh, okay.
And like I nitpick at them and take different parts and whatever. So yeah, really just I sit with songs for a long time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when it came to like your album that just dropped, EP, it's an album, right?
I had a mixtape that dropped last year, and I'm dropping something next year, top of next year.
And like, how long did you have it all like ready for that time to drop, or was it like some of them we were still sitting on? Was it hard to pick and choose the tracks you were going for when you made the album?
No, that tape it was a longer process. That tape was a longer process. So from the beginning, I probably would say it probably took, from the first song I made on that tape to the last song I made on that tape, probably took about 8-9 months between each song. This one that I'm working on currently, it hasn't been as long, but yeah.
Okay, perfect. And is this your first time performing, or you've performed?
No, I performed before. Yeah, no, I performed before.
And is it like you get jitters, or you like just ready to go most of the time?
Nah. Like I was saying before, you kind of gotta stay ready, so you don't have to get ready.
I hear that. I just want to say honestly, thank you for having this interview with me.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you having me.
And History of Nothing Festival is on November 22nd at the Adelaide Hall, 7 p.m. There's going to be multiple performers. And also B.Rob.
Sure.
Thank you guys for watching. You guys take it easy. This is the Vent Podcast. B.Rob, we out. Peace. Cool.